is around.
Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today, Spurs have beaten Liverpool by 2-1 at home for the first time since October of 2017. What a huge achievement for Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham Hotspur. This leaves us at second place in the Premier League with 5 wins and 2 draws out of 7 games on 17 points in second place, 1 point behind Man City, the champions from last year. We now are so close. We're pretty much in the title race, tied on points with Arsenal, just ahead of them on, I believe, goals forward is, since we both have a 9 differential. But this season, really looking to be a good one, and we can really challenge Man City for the title. Son got us off the mark in the 36th minute, and before that, Liverpool did get a red card. I forget which minute it was in, but it was Curtis Jones for stamping his foot on Yves Bissouma, who left him injured on the ground, but he was able to continue. But it was a pretty bad challenge. There were arguments that it could have only been a yellow since Curtis Jones' foot rolled off the ball and onto Bissouma's leg, but I think it was a pretty harsh challenge and that he should have gotten the red. Shortly after Son scored his goal, Gakpo equalized for Liverpool right before the break, and we went into halftime at 1-1. The rest of the second half was pretty much us dominating. Liverpool had some glimpses. Maddison had a brilliant shot that Alisson had a great save to. Son had a really good volley that Alisson also had a really good save to. Alisson was playing really well in the second half, and we just kept pushing for a second goal. And then in the matter of just 3 minutes, Jota gets 2 separate yellow cards and gets sent off, which gives a huge advantage to Spurs. And we really, after that, it felt like we had to win the game. We pretty much had a bunch of pressure on us to win the game. After that, Liverpool were basically playing 5 at the back, sitting back, parking the bus. It was so hard for us to get through. But then in the 90+6th minute, Matip with an own goal, we found a winner. Kulusevski had the ball, gave it to Porro. Porro fizzed in a cross, and it was just a good cross because all he had to do was hit it hard and into the danger area, and maybe something would happen. That was our only hope at this point, with like 20 seconds left on the clock. And we got it. Matip, it was unlucky for him, and it went into the roof of the net. And what a moment for us. We were just, every Spurs fan probably just drank in that moment. What a moment. And we went on to win the game 2-1. What a victory for us. Everyone played pretty well. I don't think there was a single bad performance out there. Vicario in goal made some really key saves for us, especially in the first half. Second half, he didn't really have to do much. But, yeah, continuing his good form in the Premier League. In our back four, Van de Ven. He did so well to keep up with Gakpo and Salah. And Diaz, too, at some times. He had to keep up with him, too. He used his pace brilliantly. And at times, he really just put on his afterburners and chased the ball. Chased Gakpo and Salah down. And he dealt with that superbly. Cristiano Romero also did the same. He chased the Liverpool forwards down and put in some great tackles. When we were up 2 men in the second half, Romero really took advantage of that, even Van de Ven, and they were constantly, pretty much the whole time, at the halfway line, and I have to say they were on the ball most of the time. They were really controlling the possession, which allowed Maddison, Bissouma, and Sarr pretty much to act as forwards. So that was an important role that they took on late in the game that helped us find our winner. And other than that, they were really solid defensively today too. On our right back side, we have Pedro Porro. He could have been the man of the match. I think in the late stages of the game, he did just what was needed, and just like I said earlier, put that ball hard and into the danger area, which is really what we needed. And other than that, throughout the match, he was really solid defensively. Since the start of the season, I think he has really impressed me defensively. Since last season, he was really poor defensively, and he was really struggling. You know, he would always be really good on the front foot, but then really poor defensively wise, and he would always be a liability for us. But it's not like that this season. With Ange, it's been completely different, and his defensive capabilities have been so much better. Same thing for Udogie on the other hand, left-hand side. He's pretty much meant to be a left wing back, very attacking, but under Ange, his defensive work has been so good as well. Even though he probably, without Ange, or maybe with another different manager, he probably would not be this solid defensively. So our two fullbacks did really well today. Moving on to our midfield, Bissouma and Sarr. Excellent performance from them. I feel like under pressure when they're passing, especially in the first half before Liverpool got their first red, Liverpool were putting up such a high press, and Sarr and Bissouma were kind of linking in with Romero and Van de Ven and just pulled off these incredible one-touch passes that moved the ball along really quick. And it almost looked like they were doing it effortlessly, even though they were under so much pressure, and they handled it really well. It looked like that they were like, bunch of pressure on them from the Liverpool attackers, Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah, but they acted like they were passing like they had so much free time. But they were so confident. They were so confident that they'd get their passes right, and it really helped. We gave the ball away maybe once in our own half, passing around the back, trying to build out of the back, and that was in like the first minute. But then we recovered out of that. So that really shows our confidence in the back, which is superb. Bissouma really just has been gliding through the midfield, really trying to get the ball into Maddison. And at times, he also likes to link with Maddison, like not in the sense of him bringing the ball to Maddison, but Maddison getting the ball to Bissouma. Sometimes they even swap places when Maddison drops back a little bit. And they basically, the way we play at times when we're playing very attacking, Bissouma and Maddison are almost like our two cams, and then Sarr is our one defensive midfielder, or our one regular midfielder, and Bissouma and Maddison play above Sarr sometimes, which works really well because we have Bissouma, Maddison, Richarlison, Son, and Kulusevski all in the attack there, so that really benefits us. Sarr pretty much did the same things as Bissouma, made some great tackles, and I believe there was one shot by Curtis Jones before he got sent off, where he was at the back post. He had a lot of time and space, and Sarr made a last-ditch tackle to deflect the shot. He just tried to get anything on the ball. Of course, not his hands, but he just stretched out his legs on the ground, sliding tackle, and he got the touch with like his toe and deflected the shot. So that really shows his commitment too. He doesn't look like he's 21, 22 years old. It does not look like that. He might even be 20, I'm not sure. It doesn't even look like he's that young because he looks so much more mature than that. I feel like he's just grown in. He's just grown into the squad so far, and he seems like a professional. He's already a professional. He's pretty much outdone Højbjerg already almost in his forward passing and things like that, and another great performance from him today. Moving on to our attack, James Maddison with another superb performance today. Maddison, like I said earlier, was linking up really well with Bissouma, and he also got a lot more shots off today than normal. I feel like after Liverpool got their first red card, he had a lot more time and space, less people closing him down, and that really worked to his benefit. He was able to get more shots off, and he really was able to work much cleaner today versus other times when he has, like, I don't know, 3 men on him, and it's very hard for him. He's almost marked like opponents know that he's the one to mark, he's our creative man. But another great performance from him today. The pass for Richarlison for our first goal, for Sonny's goal, that was an insane pass. He just saw, it was pretty much in a straight line. Richarlison got in behind Joe Gomez, and it was great, it was a great connection between Richarlison and Maddison. Richarlison just knew that Maddison was going to go there, and it was a brilliantly timed run from Richarlison to stay on side, and great pass from Maddison, and an overall great performance from Maddison. Moving on to Richarlison also had a lot of threat on that left-hand side. I feel like he was winning the battles against Joe Gomez almost constantly in that first half, and you saw that with our first goal, with Sonny's goal, and on other occasions too. He would get in behind Joe Gomez. At times he would be offside or the pass wouldn't go through to him, but he was making some great runs today, and I think this game for him is going to be such a big boost in confidence for him. Moving to the other side of the pitch, Kulusevski, another brilliant performance from him. He's just been on the increase in form today. He just keeps getting better and better as the season goes on. He's, I think, recently been one of our most underrated players. He's been doing really well. People have not necessarily been recognizing his really good performance since the focus is more on Maddison, Bissouma, Son, but Kulusevski has been playing really well. I think at times, though, the only downside of his game today is he had the ball a lot on that right-hand side in the late late parts of the game when we were just looking for that winner. Liverpool were down to 9 men, and he would keep cutting inside on that left foot, and it was so predictable. Robertson predicted it every time. And what he really needed to do, and he needs to get his confidence up for doing this, is to just drive on that right-hand side and fizz a ball in with his right foot, which is exactly what Pedro Porro did, which is when we got our goal. And that's what Kulusevski should have done, but other than that, it was a great performance from Kulusevski. Moving up to Heung-min's Son, our captain and our striker. He played really well today. It was a good finish for his goal, simple tap-in, and I think he did get subbed off in the 69th minute. I think it was more of our other attackers, Richarlison and Kulusevski, that were more on the ball, and Madison. But Son, also a good performance from him. And I think there was not that much to his performance. He didn't get many other chances. I think the only other chance he had was when he had, I think it was Udogi who kind of popped the ball up to him. He chested it down and immediately took a volley. And it was a brilliant save from Alisson. I think that was his only chance. And it was a great performance from Heung-min Son. As for our subs, I think Manar Solomon, who did come on for Heung-min Son, I think he did a brilliant job. He showed his pace excellently today, and he was really just running circles around Matip and Matip and Van de Beek at times, and I forget who was on that right hand side. It might have been Konate, I'm not sure, but he was pretty much running circles around them late in the game, just going from the left hand side to back to the center to the right hand side. We were playing in like a triangle, and Manar Solomon used his pace and his dribbling ability really well there. And I really like him as a player. I think he suits Ange's playstyle really well. We also brought on Oliver Skip, Ben Davies, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and Alejo Veliz for the first time ever. Veliz really didn't get any touches on the ball, but I was happy to see him finally get his debut after, I don't know, like a month of waiting. But I think also he has to get used to the squad since he didn't have his first training session until the transfer window ended, I believe. But as for Oliver Skip and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I think they did a good job of just containing the ball. We had the ball pretty much on the halfway line and right outside the penalty box for a very long time. And they were the ones to just contain it there pretty much and make sure that we don't go back at all. And I really love how Skip and Højbjerg have adapted to Ange's system. I don't really see many back passes and more defensive play from them recently. It's like they've been taking notes off of Bissouma and Sarr, and they've been making many more forward passes, which I love to see. But that will be it for our match reactions on Tottenham's 2-1 win over Liverpool. Make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you hit the like button and comment your thoughts on the game. Until next time, come on you Spurs!